In this video, we're gonna use the Pop-Up Box plugin to create pop-ups for our WordPress website. You can create any kind of pop-ups with any kind of trigger. It's truly amazing. Let's dive in right now. This Pop-Up Box plugin looks actually very interesting. We're gonna install it and let's walk through it, and then I'm gonna show you the pro version to see if that's even better. If you're still using WP Admin, please watch my security tutorials because you don't want to get hacked. Then we go to plugins, add a new plugin. I'm gonna type in Pop-Up Box. Pop-Up Box by Pop-Up Box team. Last update 3 days ago. Pretty good score. Let's install now and press activate. And then on the left side we see a new menu item. Let's go to pop-ups. So the first pop-up is already here. It's a demo title. We're not gonna use that one, of course. We're gonna create a new one. So click on add new. And here we can choose our pop-up type. Do you want custom with your own content, using a shortcode, using a video, subscriptions, yes or no, embedded, contact form, subscribe and get files, coupons, countdown, accept cookies, download, WooCommerce, login form and Google Maps. We have all these kind of pop-ups readily available if we have the pro version. I'm gonna show you this one in just a minute. First we're gonna do the free version. I'm gonna press on this one and select. Here we can enable the pop-up yes or no, and we can show the pop-up only for the author, which is very useful for testing purposes. So if you enable this one, only you will see the pop-up working on your website. Great idea. Then we have the title, and the pop-up title will only be seen by you, but you can also turn it on the front end. But here we can create some custom content with HTML or a shortcode. So let's type something in. Here's my content. Leave your name and email address, subscribe to the channel, and win a complete custom-made website for your business. If you want to have a subscribe button, of course, we're gonna add it in. So press enter, and then we're gonna press add media over there. And I'm gonna insert it in my post. Here we go. Then we're gonna put a link on it. So that way it's actually more feels like a button. Here we go, wpressdoctor.sub, which is my link, and open link in a new tab, update it. All right, here we go. Then we need, of course, an email address and a name. So we're gonna use Gravity Forms for that because I've already installed it on my website over there. If you want to switch to pages, by the way, just press Ctrl S on your keyboard, and then your pop-up will be saved. So go to Gravity Forms. And we go over here and we're going to paste in the shortcode like this. Let's see what happens. Then the pop-up description. Then if we scroll down, you can change the display. Then we have to choose on which pages or posts the pop-up will display. You can choose all pages. You can choose all pages except, and then posts or pages or projects. But you can also define individual posts or pages. And you can also include them only on the pages, for example, and then we can select a page on which page it should be shown. For example, thank you for your order, or well, it works excellent. And we're going to show it on all pages. The pop-up trigger shows actually when and why the pop-up will be shown. Click on this box, you can define this. You have onload, onclick, and both. And then we have for the pro version, some really nice ones. I really like the exit intent. When someone moves his cursor all the way up, then you will see a pop-up coming up. That's a really nice one. After visiting X pages, also absolutely very important, because if someone visits more pages, they definitely want to sign up or something. Inactivity, also very nice, very, very important. And then scrolling to element. I really like these ones. If we choose, for example, onload, then we have to define the time later on, and then it will just load in after a certain time. And we also have an onclick, so when someone clicks an element on your website, we can define it with CSS over there, then the pop-up will show. I'm going to demonstrate this, so we're going to use both on-page load and onclick. And we're going to call this CSS trigger, use an ID of pop-up. And then we can choose the position on the page. If I want to see it on the middle of my screen, I just select this box. If I select another place on my screen, then I can also define the margin. So let's say 100 pixels away from the edges. The thing I'm not seeing, or maybe I'm overlooking, is the button to show my pop-up as a preview. Let me know in the comments if I missed something and you know where it is. Alright, let's go to settings over here. On the settings tab, we can divide the open delay. Well, 1 second is 1000 milliseconds and you have to put in milliseconds. So let's put it on 3 seconds. That would give us a nice delay for the starting of the pop-up. If you scroll down, you can also use a different setting for mobile devices, because you might see in your analytics that your visitors on mobiles are leaving earlier or are browsing longer on your site. Just check it out in your Google Analytics and you know what to fill in here, but maybe you want to have like 2 seconds on mobile. Great, just fill it in over here. Then we have another one, open by scrolling down. What you can do here is set the amount of pixels. So what do you have to fill in here? Well, you actually have to try this out. Now when diving into your Google Analytics, you will see that most visitors use a 1920 by 1080, just a full HD screen. Then you will notice that the height of your screen is 1080 pixels. So you might consider when scrolling 1080 pixels, someone is actually scroll another screen. Then they could be interested. For example, with 500 pixels, they have to scroll just a half screen up and then they will see your pop-up. So this is the way you can think about when do they want to see it. I would definitely recommend using a different setting for mobiles, as a mobile screen scrolling is of course way smaller. Most use is 360 by 640. So then you can imagine if you scroll down with 640 pixels, then someone has to scroll their entire screen. However, on mobile devices, you do that very often. So you might want to consider to put this up onto, well, I don't know, 3000 pixels maybe. And then they are swiping, scrolling, and then they can see it. Because websites on mobile are way longer than on desktops. If we scroll down now, we can change the pop-up closing settings. You want to close it by pressing Escape. That would be very nice to also have, yeah. But people can also close clicking outside of the box. I would definitely recommend this to do because most people want to do this. And then you have a hide close button. Well, as a user, I really hate it when it's closed. It's a really aggressive form of keeping people to see your pop-up and they have to click outside of it or pressing escape just to get rid of it. But some people even don't understand and they can actually leave your website. So is this a good option? I don't know. It's very aggressive, so you can turn this on or off, whatever you want. I'm not gonna use it right now. Here you can activate the close button while hovering on your pop-up. You can do that whatever you want. Then we have the close button position. Well, the most used position is of course in the right top because people tend to close everything on the right. But if you want to be really aggressive, place it on the left bottom and people will never find it. Well, it's gonna take some time. But we're gonna keep it on the right top. And the close button text should be a cross, but you can use anything you want over here, even icons. Then you have a red cross icon, like this. Well, let's use it, why not? Then you have a very neat option, close button hover text. When you hover your mouse over this little cross, you can see something like, wait, this discount will never return. I don't know. And then we have an auto close delay. I would put this on 0, why? When people are actually away from the screen and we have the timer and then it's on, when you have auto close delay, pop-up will just vanish and then they will never see it. So let's keep this off. But you can always use it for different kind of things. Then we have a close button delay. This is really nice, so you can actually force people to wait 2 seconds before the close button actually shows. Yeah, also a bit aggressive, but it definitely works. Also, if we have the Pro version, we can close it by the class name. So you click on some button or thing inside of your pop-up, and then it will also vanish. And we have some advanced settings, for example, the pop-up name. So this is the contest. You might have a very complicated website with a lot of offers and things subscribing. This is the place to go. How you can add it to categories? Well, it's pretty easy. First, we're gonna save this one, so press Ctrl S on your keyboard. Then it is saved. Then we go over here to categories. In here you can add in all the categories that you want. So we're gonna add it in. For example, contest, save and close. We're also gonna make, and maybe another category that says social media. And in there, I'm gonna put in everything like subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Insta or I don't know, whatever you want. So let's get back to pop-ups, and then the contest, gonna edit it. Go back to settings where we were. Then we go to category, and we can see that now we have all different kinds of categories. So we're gonna place this one in the contest category, and the name should be. Then they have a overlay outside of the pop-up, very nice. You can change the opacity to 0.5. Should be great. Let's see how it works. We can always change it. And then we have the blurred overlay, which is even better, so you won't get distracted by the website itself in the background. Very neat. You can change how many times a pop-up will be displayed per session. So let's say a visitor comes to your website, he gets the pop-up and he stays 30 minutes on your website. Then you can say, I put in 30 minutes over here, and after 30 minutes he will see the same pop-up again. That's possible. If you don't want it just once, put in 0. If we scroll down, you can also have the pop-up sound. It only works with the trigger, on click or both. So we have that enabled, so we're gonna put it in over here. And then we go to general settings and we're gonna add in some funny sound. Then we have social media links. You can add it in automatically below in the pop-up. So why not put it in over there? And we can choose from different kind of social media. And you can say, follow us for more crazy giveaways, fill in everything you have. And we can also schedule the pop-up. Of course, if we click on this one, now we can add in a date and an end date so that you can plan it when you're on holiday. Excellent. You can change the pop-up creation date. I don't know why you want it, but it's possible. You can change the author. Then you can also choose to disable page scrolling when the pop-up is shown. I would not advise you to do so, as it has a side effect that it will scroll all the way up. That's not very user-friendly, but it's possible. There's another neat feature, enable dismiss ad. If you enable this one, then there will be a button added and the entire pop-up will not be shown for an entire month. So this is very useful in some cases. If you enable disable pop-up scrolling, it won't be possible to scroll inside of your pop-up box. So we're gonna create small content. We're gonna enable this feature, but you can also leave it off, whatever you want. Then we have multiple scheduling. Now you can schedule more start and end dates during the month, during the year, or during some kind of season. Only available in the Pro version. I think this is really extensive plugin. Actions while clicking on the pop-up. It's actually possible with the Pro version to redirect everyone who clicks on the pop-up itself to go to another page. Alright, press save. And then we are up here and we go to styles. On these styles, we can actually choose our template to how our pop-up's gonna look. If we just choose a different template, when you scroll down, you can see the actual template over there with our great crossing icon that we just filled in. So you can choose anything you want. Let's keep it on this one. If you want more of them, we have to buy a Pro version. There's also a button few more. Wow. And then you have some funny things like macOS, Ubuntu, Windows XP. This is really... It should be very nice on tech websites, for example. It looks like this, subscribe contest, and your title can be in there. Should be funny. Then you have the width on PC. You can make it 400 pixels or 500 pixels or whatever you want. Let's keep it on 400 and see how that works. You can also change it for mobile devices, but I would suggest you use the max width for mobile and put it on 95%, just to give it a little bit edges over there. That would be great. Then you have the height on PC, it's 500. You can use that on mobile. It's empty, it will generate it automatically. That's even better. Then you have the minimum height, of course, and the full screen mode. You also have the pop-up minimum height, and you also have a full screen mode. Full screen mode, I would not advise you to do so because it is in your face and people are tending to leave your website because they don't know where they are anymore, and it's just a little bit confusing. Then we have the content padding, default 20 pixels, just keep it on that, very nice. Text color, you can style it. The font family is just inherited from your website itself, should be working the best way. Description, font size, you can change it over there. Then we have also a shadow on your title. I would not suggest to do it, but you can. Here you can change this title style, only in the Pro version. And if we scroll down, we have opening and closing effects. So here you can also change the animation speed to make it last for 5 seconds, for example, before it comes fading in down. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, this is bad. Now you can actually change it here, so that's very nice. You can also make it really, really fast, like this. Wow. I'll just keep it on 1 second. That should be really great. The animation itself, you can choose from fade out down, like this, or fade out down big. Why is the closing animation first? Let's start with the opening animation. You can choose fade in from up, or like this. But it's actually pretty funny. Bounce it in, bounce in from left, zoom in, slide in, rotating in, flipping it in, or just no animation and it just pops up. Let's choose for this one, we're gonna use the fade in up. Let's use fade in down, where it is, yeah. And then we have also, yeah, let's gonna use fade in down, and also the closing animations are all the same. How will it leave your screen? I'm gonna use the flip out X. Why not? You can change the background style, an image, or maybe a color. When choosing a color in here, you can also change the transparency of your color over here. It's a bit weird, it's supposed to be there, but I think it's my 4K screen. I don't know. And it's actually a pretty neat feature. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose the white color and I'm gonna make it just a little bit transparent, see how it goes on the front end. But you can also use an image, of course. So for example, if I'm doing this one, you can just place it anywhere you want. Then you can also add a background gradient, just exactly the way you would think a gradient would work. So that's also possible. And here you can change your header background color, but it only works with the template red and sail. So we're not gonna use it now. Then we have the overlay color. And then you can specify the overlay color. I think it's the background. We've already changed that, I thought, but then we can also create a border. Of course, why not? Let's put it up and then you can see it. This is the dotted border style, but you can also use dashed. Let's create another style. You can actually see it. Wow, this is amazing. Double. Let's turn it down just a little bit. These are all the standard HTML borders you can actually choose. Now the ridge and the inset are actually pretty nice to use in a pop-up box. Really gives you this 1982 vibes. You can change the border radius to make it, for example, rounded corners, and that's pretty nice. Let's keep it on 10, that's great. Then you can change a button style, only in the Pro version. This plugin is really extensive. We put a close button icon in there, but you can also use an image. Let's just keep it like this. You can also change the color and the hover color. That's actually pretty nice. If you're not using an icon, you can change the color to red, and when you hover over to blue or red or whatever you want, you can change the size. Then we have advanced styles. We have also box shadows, and you can change the color also. Oof. Yeah, 1982. Turn this off, but you can use it. Background image style on mobile. This is a funny option only for the sail template. Here you can change your background image. It will go on top of your pop-up and not in the background. Only works on the sail theme, so we're not going to use that. If you want to CSS style your pop-up container from a child theme, you can add in a class over there. But you can also use some custom CSS in here. So that's pretty great. Really extensive. You can create anything you want with this plugin. Then we're going to press save, and then we go up. And we go to the next one, limitation users. The limitation of users can be displayed pop-up once per user. Very useful, very useful. For locked in users, yes. For guests, yes or no. Hide your pop-up on mobile, on PC or on tablets. Very important. And then you can disable by view count. This is a very neat feature. If I only want this pop-up to be shown to 500 people, for example, you can enable this and add in 500. And yes, of course, it's the Pro version, but I totally understand. This is actually well thought out. Display for certain user roles, if you only want to show this pop-up for your different kind of user roles. A very impressive feature. This is very useful if you have only for subscribers, for example. You can even display it for certain operating systems in the Pro version, but here you can Windows 10, Windows 7, Linux, Mac, certain browsers. This is great. Press save. And then the last one is the integrations tab. So the integration tab works only with contact form, subscription, and send file after subscription types. You can integrate your pop-up with all different kind of third parties like MailChimp, Campaign, ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, Sendinblue, all these things. It seems that we have covered all the options in here, so let's go to all of these options. We have the categories, we've already shown this one, but you also have custom fields. However, it's only in the Pro version. Let's go to Analytics. In here you can see, if you have the Pro version, what your pop-up is doing on your website, which is actually the whole point of this thing. You want to see how many people are opening it and when, how long, and did they read it, did they close it, all that kind of things. And on the Subscribers tab, we can see all the subscribers if you have the Pro version, yes. Export pop-ups and import them is actually pretty useful if you have created the most awesome pop-ups and you're like a developer or you're creating a lot of websites. You can just recycle pop-ups you've recently created for another client, put it in over there or another website and just use it there. You can just export a JSON file and then you can import it again on another website. Then we go to general settings over here. You can even define the editor height in your WordPress backend. You can even define the accept words count in list tables and categories. Here we can change the pop-up sound. We don't have a sound right now, I'm gonna upload it. We're gonna just use this sound. Yeah, great. And then you can have, we will have permission to the pop-up menu. This actually, this menu over here, you can define the user role if you have the Pro version. That's pretty useful if you work with a lot of people. Then we go over here to integrations. You can set up the integrations with MailChimp and all the other companies if you want to use it. Then we have shortcodes, because when someone is logged in and you're showing the pop-up, you can use this one to show the first name. If they're not logged in, so WordPress doesn't know who it is, it will stay empty. Also with the last name and the display name, nickname and email. But you can also use a shortcode to show the author of the specific pop-up. I don't know why, but it can be useful if you work with a lot of people and you have different kind of blogs. And also with the user role, you can actually show the user role inside of your pop-up of the person that has been logged in. You can use a shortcode to show your category title and a description inside of your pop-up if you want it. This is your ID right there, number 2, number 1. You can put it in over there. You can show your category title and description inside of the pop-up. Then you go to message variables. You can use the message variables only in the custom content pop-up. But there you can use the title, the user's display name, email, first, last name, author of the current quiz, user role creation, and user nickname. If you go over here to how to use, here you can find, of course, some very extensive videos and also how to use this entire pop-up box. Then we go to our products, we can see even more products of this amazing theme. Before we go to the Pro features and buy the actual Pro version, we go see our pop-up box. I have selected the option to only show it to the author. So that means only when I am scrolling now on my website, I will see the pop-up because I'm logged in. So no one else will see it. Here we are. Leave your name and email address, subscribe to my channel, win a complete case. Subscribe contest. Nice. It actually works. And while we're here, don't forget to subscribe. Pretty neat. Click aside of it. Oh, here it goes. Of course, it needs some styling and tweaking and tuning, but the system works and that's really nice. Now, if I want this pop-up also to appear to other people, then I go over here. I'm gonna disable this option, show pop-up only for author, and press Ctrl S on your keyboard. And then the last thing to see over here are the Pro features. You can compare the different plans. The only difference is the developer version is unlimited sites, lifetime upgrades and lifetime support. So this is a lifetime deal for unlimited sites. I love that. If you want to support me, go to wpressdoctor.com/popup and press enter. And then we are here at the website of the owner, and if you press on Get Pop-up Box Now, you'll scroll down to the business or the developer plan. As I said, this is a one-time payment for your lifetime updates and unlimited websites. You cannot go wrong with this one. I'm gonna buy the developer version, so I'm gonna click on it. Fill out all your information over here, choose a credit card or PayPal, agree to the terms and press checkout. Once you have done that, you can log in over there. You can go to your account and download the pop-up developer version. Once you have downloaded, we go over here to plugins, add new. We're gonna press upload plugin, and then we choose the plugin with this above and press install now. Now wait up, don't press the big blue button activate plugin right now, because we have to do something else. We go to installed plugins over there. We have now two versions of the pop-up box. This is the pro version and this is the normal version. We're gonna press deactivate on this one, and we gotta press upgrade. Here we go. And then we're going to activate the first one. And now we have the pro version enabled, and we can delete this version. Press delete. Okay. Now we can go over here, pop-up box, and you can see that all restrictions are gone and we have the same pop-ups we've just created. And we can press add new. Now I want to show you all these types of pop-ups so you get an idea of what is possible. If you just want to see one type of these pop-ups, just go into the description of this video and click on the timestamp to go straight to the accept cookie or subscribe and get file or video pop-up, anything you want. But we're going to start with the subscription. Press select. For the subscription pop-up, we're going to choose a very nice one. This one looks actually really great. Press select. And then we're gonna change the title. Subscribe to get amazing WordPress discount. Want to display it on all pages. And here we go with the user data. Now we have the name field, an email field, and a message field, which is disabled by default as we only want to have the name and the email address. We don't need to fill anything over here, the write message content, because we're not adding any content to that. Then we have the button text, subscribe. Then we have the pop-up description, which is already did. We have spammy, fresh seafood, and our chefs according to the most delicious recipes. Very funny. Gonna delete this, of course, everything, and just type in something like, and I want this pop-up trigger to be on hover. Ooh, now we also have the exit intent, inactivity after visiting X pages, scrolling to element. This is great. Let's go with the exit intent, and I want it to be in the middle. Press save. Then we go over to the settings. These are all the same as we already have covered, so I wanted to disable this one. But we do gonna change the category to the subscribe newsletter version. An overlay, we have a blurred overlay. I really like that. Then we have a new feature, which is enable redirect after submission. So in here we can guide them to, for example, for the thank you page, if you have one. Press save. Here we get indeed subscribe to get amazing WordPress discounts. There's a lot of things in here which we already covered. Let's go with this image for the background. It looks really nice. All these things are good and we actually covered it in the first one. You can change anything you want. Save it. And now this is an exit intent. So when I'm scrolling over here and I'm reading things, then I move my mouse up there. There we go. Now we have an exit intent pop-up. This is really great. Now we can leave our email, so let's try this. wpressdoc@wpressdoctor.com. Oh, 5 seconds, I have to be fast. Subscribe. And then I get redirected to the thank you page, but I didn't create it, and every 404 goes back to here. So that's great. So I really like the exit intent pop-up. And then we have limitation for users, display pop-up once per user. These are all the same. But then we have display for certain OS. Oh, it's actually bigger than the free version. This pro version is even better. Look at this. A lot more options. Certain user roles. Great. Limit by country. Exclude. Oh, this is great, guys. This is so extensive. Dismiss by closing. After closing, it will not be shown again. Pretty nice features. I really like this plugin. I'm really happy. Now, in all the integrations we see, one thing is new is the reCAPTCHA. So if we go over here, we can just fill in all the API keys to get a real connection. Now I can also go to submissions in here, and here we can get subscribe to get amazing WordPress. These are the letters we saw in the settings. Now we have one subscription to our newsletter, and we need to click on this, and then we can see that it was the@wpressdoctor.com. And you can export it to XLSX to import it again in your MailChimp or whatever if you haven't connected it. We can also just press unpublish, and that actually means that it's turned off. Unpublish, yeah, so now it's off, but it's still here, so that works great. Press add new, and we're gonna add in a yes or no pop-up. Let's go with the default option. did you already like this video? The question is, tell me if I did a great job with this video. And on yes, close pop-up or redirect them to a URL. And on no button, redirect them to another URL. This works great. You can create different kind of pages and that way you can measure it with Google Analytics, or you can just send them to some kind of discount thing or anything. But in text, yes, no pop-up triggers. Let's do it on inactivity. And when someone is inactive for 5 seconds, then this pop-up will show. Let's save it. And if you go to settings, no new settings for this, so we're just gonna test it out. I'm just scrolling and scrolling. I'm just looking at this beautiful website. Oh wow, this is great. Look at this. Protein shakes. Oh, I love this. Oh, I got a call from my mother. Hello. There it is. After 5 seconds, here is the pop-up. Tell me if I did a great job with this video. It's way too long. Of course, we can tune it and style it. I press yes or no. If I press yes, nothing happens. No redirection. I didn't install it. Alright, I'm gonna just redirect the yes button to facebook.com and the no button to wpressdoctor.com. Let's see what happens. Everything's fine. I got a great ad. This is amazing. Yes, you did a great job, of course. And I go to facebook.com. Great. And the no button. I go to wpressdoctor.com. This is amazing. Alright, then we go to unpublish this one and we go to the next one. Add a new pop-up and we're gonna use the video pop-up. Choose your pop-up template. There's only one. Then don't make me choose. And enter the title. And then we're gonna add in a video over here. Add video, and let's use this MP4 that I'm using on my website. The pop-up trigger should be this time. Let me see. After visiting 2 pages. Great, over there. 150 pixels. Let's see how it works. Then we go to settings, open delay. No. This is all great. This is all great. Auto delay. I don't want this on my video or else we won't see it, but we can auto close it on video completion. That's a nice one. And I want this to be, well, I don't know, subscribe newsletter. We have an overlay. We have blurred overlay. I like this one. And then we go also the social media links in there. Why not? We go to visit site over in there. Let's go to our products again. After the second page opened, I get this one with the social media link, which is hideous. I need to style this one and the video, and it works. Of course, it works. Great. I can do it full screen. I can do it small and close it again. Excellent. Works like it should. I can style the entire pop-up, of course. Then we go again to the another pop-up. Unpublish this one. We're gonna add a new one. Now let's see the embedded iframe. Nice. Let's choose the holiday theme. Can you see my iframe? And then we're gonna display on all pages. Make sure when you copy iframes to use the text mode over there and paste it in. Here is my iframe, of course, width 560, height 315. Here we go, some kind of description over here. And what will be the trigger? The trigger should be scrolling to element. Put in an ID scroll pop-up trigger, and when someone's scrolling to that one, it should show. I want it to be shown in the corner with an offset of 150 pixels. Gonna save and close it. And now we're going to the front page. Now I want this section. Go to advanced CSS ID, and I'm gonna place this CSS ID scroll pop-up trigger. And I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save this page. Now when I scroll to this section, it should be shown on my website. Let's test it out. Here we go, and I'm gonna scroll down, I'm gonna scroll down, and here we come to this section, and here we go. Did you already watch this video? Make sure to get the right SEO plugin. And this is my iframe. It's just a very small YouTube embedded video. But then of course, don't forget to go into here and put the auto close on 0. I don't know why it's added in here automatically. It should be 0 because on most pop-ups you don't want them to auto close actually. Let's go to the next one. What else do we have? We have iframes. We have also contact forms. I want to have peachy questions. I want to show it on all pages. I want to have the name, email, and the message. Of course, it's required. You can fill in an email address, so it will be sent to there. And the button text should be submit. And then the description, just the pop-up trigger this time should be, well, we already tried it all. So let's do the exit intent because I definitely like this one the most of all the triggers. Auto close, put it to 0 because you really don't want this when people filling out their forms. Save and close, and let's go to the website pages, and I'm scroll up because I want to leave. Here is my form. I have to blur the background, I think. This looks hideous, this background. All right, I need to style it. But as you can see, it just works great. I can fill in my name. Hello, hobbyplusdoctor.com. Hello there. Submit it. So let's say you want some more fields next to the name, email, and message. Then you go to over here, custom fields. And then we're gonna create a new field because, for example, I want to know, and it's gonna be a select one. And the options are yes, no. Did you already subscribe to my YouTube channel? I'm gonna save and close it. And then I go back to my pop-ups over here and I go to my contact you for all your questions. And then you see over here, did you already subscribe? And it's enabled and required. Press save and close. Then we're gonna test it out. And then I have an exit intent. Here we go. Yes, and there is the question somewhere in here, and I didn't enable it in the styles, but you can choose yes or no and then press submit after you've filled it in. And then I went into my email and I received a message from myself. And hello there, just testing out this pop-up plugin thing. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Matt. So it's actually working. Really great. All right, then we go back to pop-ups and let us just unpublish this one. We have also a subscribe and get a file. That's interesting. Enable this one, forest one. The thing that's only enabled is the email. Then we're gonna add a file in here. Add file. Just use a sound for now. Here I can add in some text. It will be sent with the email sent. Thank you for requesting this amazing sound effect. I hope you will be blessed by it. Here we go. We have the confirmation box after submit. And the bottom text is subscribe to the channel. Then we have a pop-up description. Get exclusive offer discount. Take 10% off. Let's do it on page load. Save. Go to settings. We have an open delay of 5 seconds. You can close it. Oh, you can close it by clicking outside the box. And I also want to have this one turned off. And then I also want to have an overlay, a blurred overlay. I like. Let's go. Wait 5 seconds. Here we go. Take off 10% off your next purchase. That's something that we put in, but subscribe to the channel. Are you sure you want? Yes. It's actually subscribing to my newsletter. And then I got this email, subscribe and get my PDF file. Well, actually it was not a PDF file, it was a hallelujah sound effect. And here we are, it works. It's just been added to my mail. And we're gonna add a new one, and the next one is actually a coupon. Coupon, select it. Just want to default coupon, yes. Do not miss out, take 40% on your offer. If you want to create coupons, we need to have a file. To get the file, press this one. Then we have a data example file, and you can press open it. Then you will go to this one, and you can see in here, you see all these kind of coupon codes. You can just generate your own coupon codes in here. Once you have put it in, and import your data from your coupon codes. And this way you can now give your coupon codes away from within Pop-up Box, which is really great. Let's do it on inactivity for 4 seconds. We go to settings, and we need to put this one on 0. And then we go to styles, and then you can see your own coupon over there. This is really great. I think this actually will work pretty good. Press save and close. Now let's see how this works. We're just gonna wait a couple of seconds. Wow, here it is. So we can save 40% with this code. This is great. It just grabs a coupon code from my list and put it on over there. Excellent. I can make this work on multiple websites, yes. Let's add another one, and here we go to have the coupons. We also have a countdown pop-up. So you see default, select, and then you have to put in a end date. Well, the date will be, let's do tomorrow, 16 hours. Done. Demo description. Get ready for launch. And I want this also on page load. Press save and close. Stop it. I go to styles over here, and this is the way it looks, just a very normal countdown. Let's also put in the description and the title. And of course you can change all the styling in here. We all know that. So let's press save and close and see how this works. Oh yeah, here we are. Get ready for launch. Let's unpublish it and let's go to the next one. We have a countdown and we also have an accept cookie. Well, the exact cookie is just a very normal cookie pop-up, but it doesn't actually block cookies. You just have to accept all the cookies. That's the only thing you can do. So this is how it looks now. It has a full width privacy. You agree to store cookies on your device. You cannot decline it, and it's not even legal because right now you've already stored my cookies on your website, whether you accept it or not. So yeah, you might use it, but you might not use it. We have also a download. All right, let's do it on page load, of course. Save, download something. Oh, we need to upload a file, of course. So just, we do again the sound. Hallelujah. It just seems like very, very simple download something button over there. So let's save and close it. And there it is, just download something right here. We can click on it and then we have to download it, the file. Really great. You can use it in combination with hover or when you click on something else. That would be great. If we now go to the analytics over here, we can see all the things we have been doing so far. Download something, copy, default things, all these counts. So that's really great. We can see all this information. Pop-up averages. We have 3 more. We have the WooCommerce product. I have the default. And then you can select the product. Let's go with the diet shake. And then the description is, let's do it on page load. So it's actually pretty clear. Let's see how this goes. Oh wow, here you can find my amazing shake and you can actually add it to your cart. Let's see if this works. Add it to cart and view cart right now. It actually works, but then it pops up again. So we have to style it that it doesn't pop up on every page load, of course. And style this button a little bit. But it actually works. It's now inside of my cart. You can do amazing things with this. Special discounts, hidden products. I know all these things are just really great. Let's go to the login form. Let's see what this is. Just a default one. Enable pop-up, yes. Enable it from the author. Please log in first. And then you would actually use a on-click, for example. That would be great. Save and close it. This is then the login pop-up. Really great. You can just log in here. I can see many applications for this. Really great. And then the last one is a Google Map. This should be fun. So when you're scrolling, hovering over it, you can add in a Google Map form. That should be really nice. So we need to fill in the Google Maps API key over there, and then we can actually put in something. But the problem is over here. The Google Maps API key is not very easy to get, plus it's totally unnecessary. If I were going to add some Google Maps, I would go into my pop-ups. I would add a new pop-up in. I would go over to the iframes over there. I would select it, usually default, select it. I would go over here, go to text mode, go to my Google Maps. Then I would share it and I press embed a map and I would say copy HTML. Then I would go to my pop-ups and I would paste it in over there. And then save it, go to my pop-ups. And then I'm gonna unpublish this one. And then over here, I get my map of Las Vegas and I don't need any Google Maps API key. That's the way I should do it, or else it's a lot of hassle to get that API key. Plus, it will not be free if you have a lot of visitors on your website. Besides that, it's a really cool idea, but I don't think it's the fastest way to do it. Just use this one. If you have any questions or you just want to say thank you, Matt, drop them down in the comments. I'll always reply. Hit that like button so I know I was on the right track, and subscribe over there so you know exactly when new videos are coming out. And also check out this video, which is also amazing and completely no pop-ups. I promise, no pop-ups at all.